It was a bright morning in the kingdom of Enchantia. The sun shone warmly and little white clouds floated in the blue sky. Princess Sophia was in the palace garden, watching butterflies dance around the flowers. Clover the rabbit sat beside her, munching on a carrot. "Clover," Sophia said with excitement, "today's the day. I'm finally going to try the flying derby with the royal winged horses." Clover's ears twitched. "Flying derby? Sounds dangerous. You know, I'm more of a stay on the ground and snack kind of guy." Sophia laughed. "Don't worry, I'll be careful. Besides, Minimus will be with me." Minimus was Sophia's loyal flying horse, with soft purple fur and kind eyes. He always encouraged her. When Sophia reached the stables, Minimus was already waiting. "Morning, Sophia," he said happily. "Are you ready for our biggest practice ever?" "I sure am," Sophia replied. "Let's make this our best flight." The flying derby track was huge, with tall flags marking the start and finish lines. High above, the clouds drifted lazily. Sophia climbed onto Minimus's back, holding the reins. At the signal, they leapt into the air. The wind rushed past Sophia's face as Minimus flapped his strong wings. They soared over hills, glided around tall towers, and looped through the air. Sophia laughed with pure joy. "This feels amazing." But as they reached the tallest part of the course, a sudden gust of wind blew in from the mountains. Minimus wobbled in the air. "Whoa!" he cried. "That wind is strong." Sophia tightened her grip. "It's okay, we can—" But before she could finish, a second gust pushed them hard. Minimus lost balance and they started tilting downwards. The ground seemed to rush up toward them. Sophia's heart raced. "Minimus, pull up! I'm trying!" Minimus flapped harder, but the wind made it difficult. They spiraled down, and Sophia's mind filled with worry. She remembered the royal flying derby rules. If you're in trouble, aim for a soft landing. "Head for that haystack." Sophia pointed to a large pile of golden hay near the stables. Minimus angled his wings, fighting the wind. With one final effort, he steered toward the hay. They crashed into it with a big poof of straw. Sophia coughed, brushing hay from her hair. "Are you okay, Minimus?" "I think so," Minimus said, shaking himself. But that was way too close. Sophia knew something was strange. That wind wasn't normal. It came out of nowhere. Just then, James, her stepbrother, ran over. "Sophia, did you feel that gust? It knocked over the practice flags." Amber, her stepsister, appeared too. "My hair is a disaster because of it," she complained. Bailiwick, the castle steward, hurried to the group. "Your Majesty, the weather wizards say strange winds have been swirling all morning." Sophia thought for a moment. "If we don't find out why, it could ruin the royal derby tomorrow." Sophia decided to visit Mystic Hollow, where magical creatures often knew about strange happenings. She took Clover, Minimus, and her amulet. The forest was quiet, except for the rustle of leaves. In the hollow, they met a friendly wind sprite named Zephyra. She had hair like silver clouds and a voice like a soft breeze. "Princess Sophia," Zephyra said, "the wind is wild because the wind gem has been disturbed." "What's the wind gem?" Sophia asked. "It's a magical stone that keeps the breezes gentle and safe, but it was knocked from its stand in the wind tower. Without it, the winds become unpredictable." Sophia knew they had to help. She and Minimus flew toward the wind tower, which stood on top of a tall, rocky hill. As they got closer, the air grew wilder. Strong gusts pushed them back. "This is harder than flying derby," Minimus shouted over the wind. They landed near the tower and climbed the spiral stairs inside. At the top, they found the wind gem rolling dangerously close to the edge. But they weren't alone. A mischievous green goblin was trying to take the gem. "Shiny rock, mine now," he cackled. Sophia stepped forward. "That gem belongs here. Without it, everyone in Enchantia could be hurt." The goblin laughed. "Too bad. I want it for my treasure collection." Sophia thought fast. She pulled out a shiny silver ribbon from her pocket, a gift from Amber. "Hey, Goblin, this ribbon is even shinier and it dances in the wind." The goblin's eyes widened. "Ooh, shiny." He dropped the gem to grab the ribbon. Quick as a flash, Sophia caught the wind gem. She placed it back on its stand, and immediately the winds calmed. Zephyra appeared smiling. "Thank you, Sophia. The winds will be gentle again." With the winds safe, Sofia and Minimus returned to the derby track the next day. The royal crowd gathered to watch. When the race began, Sofia and Minimus soared gracefully, turning, twisting, and diving with Once upon a time, in a small and happy village, there lived a kind little girl named Sofia. She wasn't a princess. She lived with her loving mother, Miranda, who made beautiful shoes. They weren't rich, but they had each other, and that was enough. One bright morning, something amazing happened. King Roland, the ruler of the land, came to their village. He had seen Miranda's fine shoes and was so impressed that he invited her to the royal castle. Soon the king and Miranda fell in love and got married. And just like that, Sophia's life changed forever. Her mother became the queen and Sofia became a princess. When Sofia moved into the castle, she could hardly believe her eyes. Everything sparkled. The shiny floors, the tall windows, the endless hallways. Her new bedroom was bigger than her whole old house. But Sofia also had a new family now. There was her stepfather, King Roland, her stepsister, Princess Amber, and her stepbrother, Prince James. James was cheerful and playful, but Amber, well, she didn't seem very happy to meet Sofia. On Sofia's first day as a princess, King Roland gave her a very special gift. A beautiful necklace with a glowing purple gem called the Amulet of Avalor. He told her it was special, but he didn't explain its magic. Sofia put it on and promised to take good care of it. The very next day, Sofia started classes at the Royal Prep Academy, where princesses and princes learned how to rule kingdoms. Her teachers were three kind and wise fairies, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. They taught her how to curtsy, dance, and greet people the royal way. But it wasn't easy. Sofia tripped over her gown, forgot which fork to use at dinner, and often felt out of place. Amber noticed and whispered to others that Sofia wasn't a real princess. Despite this, Sofia tried her best. Soon, she heard there would be a grand royal ball. She was nervous but excited. It would be her first big event as a princess. She wanted to dance perfectly. But Amber, still jealous, had other plans. She went to Cedric, the royal sorcerer, and asked for magic dancing shoes for Sofia. Cedric gave her slippers that were far too slippery. Cedric, of course, had his own reason. He wanted Sofia's magical amulet for himself. On the night of the ball, Sofia put on her shoes and stepped into the ballroom. The music began and couples twirled around. Sofia tried to follow the steps, but the shoes were so slippery. She slipped, slid, spun, and crashed right into the table. Everyone gasped and some even laughed. Sofia's cheeks burned red. She ran out of the ballroom and sat alone in the garden, her heart heavy. As she sat in the moonlight, the amulet of Avalor began to glow. A soft, warm light surrounded her, and in the middle of that light appeared a beautiful woman, Princess Cinderella. "Why are you sad, dear one?" Cinderella asked gently. Sophia told her everything about Amber, the shoes, and how she felt she would never be a real princess. Cinderella smiled and said, "Being a princess is not about fancy dresses or perfect dancing. It's about kindness, courage, and forgiveness. If you show kindness, even to someone who's been unkind to you, you'll find your true place here." The next morning, it was time for the royal flying horse race, an exciting event where young royals rode magical flying horses through the sky. By chance, Sophia and Amber were put on the same team. Amber frowned at first, but the race began, and they soared through the clouds. Everything was going well until their horse's wing got caught in a branch. They were stuck. Amber panicked, but Sophia quickly climbed down, untangled the wing, and helped Amber back into the saddle. They were far behind now, but they continued together, side by side. As they reached the finish line, they didn't win first place, but they crossed it, smiling. Amber looked at Sophia with surprise. You helped me, even after how I treated you." Sophia smiled. "We're sisters now. That's what family does." That night, another ball was held in celebration. This time, Sophia danced again, not perfectly, but happily. She laughed, she twirled, and she felt free. King Roland watched proudly and said, "Sophia, you are a true princess, not because of your crown or your gown, but because of your heart." Amber and James joined her on the dance floor, and the three of them laughed together, a real family at last. And so Princess Sophia lived happily in the royal castle, still learning, still growing, but always staying true to herself. And every time her amulet glowed, she remembered that the greatest magic of all is kindness. The end.